All right.
We are the Podguyz podcast, bringing it to you live as we do. I'm Tony Kaz.
Kevin Neary here.
Of course, we have the ever-loving Picasso, the eau de toilette of the big board.
Sparky.
He does say hi. Yes, he does say hi.
You know, whenever doing that up for the commercial, the ever-loving Picasso, I'm like, I don't know if that makes sense. I'm like,
but it does.
Yeah, like writing it out. I'm like,
as always, our show is brought to you by the people that we love the best and the most. Us. It's brought to you by us.
I thought you were going to do a shameless plug for merchbooth.com where you can find all of your Podguyz podcast gear, t-shirts, hoodies. Yeah, Tony, that's special guest. I don't know if a special guest exists anymore.
It does exist.
Does it really?
It does.
Well, we also have a special guest, Tony, don't we?
That's true. We do. Do you want to introduce? No, you don't want to introduce.
I
thought you were going there.
That was me literally bunting it over to you to do the little bunt. Christian hardesty. See, you know how to pronounce his last name there. That's why the bunt was towards yourself.
Let's not do this. Here we go. Christian Hardesty, welcome to the show, sir. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Now, you are the writer of a fantastic book that you can buy on Amazon.com, by the way.
That's right.
And it's called Don't Shit in My Toilet.
Correct.
Why don't you
I hate it. You know what? I hate it when people
shit
shit in my toilet, Christian. I love the title of the book, Don't Shit in My Toilet, because this is reasons why I don't have toilet paper, because I want to know what they're doing in there, know, when they come over. And if they say, hey, why don't you have toilet paper? And some people are using toilet paper just to use it. You don't need it for everything, but Don't Shit in My Toilet. What is the book about? What was it inspired by? Give us a little overlap right there.
Sure. So the book is kind of like a variety comedy show in a book. It has different types of humor, sketch humor, satire, surreal, some bodily, observational, just a mix of different styles of humor. When I started writing this book, I didn't really want to focus on a certain type. A lot of humor books out there are, 1,000 of the best bar jokes or 100 of the best, dad jokes. But when I was writing this, I was kind of all across the board. I didn't have really a focus. So whatever came to mind, I just kind of, put it on paper. And eventually I categorized it into different chapters that covered the styles of humor, put it all together.
You're not giving yourself enough credit on that idea when you have to categorize stuff. Guys, a lot of categories, when you're self-editing like that, you say to yourself, wait a second, is it really this category? Because it could also be considered that category. Did you have a little bit of trouble like separating and playing Sophie's choice with the categories at all, or no?
Yeah, that was a bit difficult. It's because there were some types of humor that, this is more like satire, this is more surreal, but I kind of went with what does it more fit into as far as the category. So, but eventually I was, categorized it and ended up publishing it. I started writing this basically. I was a lawyer for about 16 years. And in about my 16th year, that was during the pandemic, my practice area was taking a downward spiral. I was in my practice area was collections, and you ain't collecting debt during the pandemic. People aren't working.
Yeah.
So I have always had an interest in comedy, and when I was in college, I was working. Going to college, I was in a band, and I kind of wanted to fit the comedy in there as well, because that was another passion of mine, but it just kind of never had time for it. So with my practice area sort of taking this downward spiral, I decided to go for it and give it a shot, and started writing the book. And the inspiration for the title actually came from a friend of mine. I was at his house in his bathroom, and he was like knocking on the door. Are you shitting in there? And I wasn't shitting in there, but I
What the
had
hell
been
were
in
you
there.
doing in there?
What was I doing in there? I was taking a very long piss, I think.
Yeah, that's a long. If you're like making somebody get up and saying, "What the fuck is he doing in there?"
Is Christian all right? Did he fall in or?
So I was. I thought, well, that'd be kind of a good title for a book, and so the cover of the book is a toilet, and written on it is "Don't shit in my toilet." I think that'd be a good rule. Someone comes over, they flip up your toilet seat. Don't shit in my toilet. Oh, whoa. What if I have to shit? What am I going to do? But
now that's a fantastic name for a book. But
no, thank you.
We here at the Podguyz podcast try to one up the author in every way possible. And
You guys are-
Yes, because that's a classy thing to do when you have somebody as a guest. Just try to one up what the interview is all about.
No.
Right? Yeah.
All right, maybe that came out the wrong way. But we here at the Podguyz podcast made our own cover for your book, sir.
Oh, okay, great. Well,
So there you go. Listen. This is just if you're looking for a sequel to "Don't Shit in My Toilet" again.
right.
Well,
I can't really.
or
I
the
can't see.
upper-
well, he hasn't flipped the board around yet.
Oh, he's
so
put the board around. Okay.
you're getting close to nothing. Like,
Sorry, I'm excited.
That's all right. I'm sure the movie, or not the movie, but the book title, "The Upper Decker," should be in this one. No,
Upper
Sparky.
Decker.
I know that's such.
Sparky,
a good
do you
book
want to
right
flip the
there.
damn thing
Classy.
around? We're all dying to see it. What's going on there? Hey,
I does not smell.
It does not smell that bad.
yeah,
Oh,
as you can
that's
see,
not
you see with the green things. I'm guessing those are the smell fumes. Am I right there, Sparky? And then it probably now no one knows. This is the mystery of the title. No one knows if the smell is coming from the toilet or the dead body on the ground there. It's so it's a mystery thriller, no more of
That
a
is
comedy
good.
book than anything. You see, I've been in those situations before where you're like, there is a dead body on the ground, but I still need to take a shit in the sporting room facility because I live upstairs. What do I do? Now, you still take your shit because you desperately need to do so. And while on the toilet, it's after 9 o'clock. You can use those free minutes to call 911.
Now here I was thinking that Sparky was going to one up it with the some sort of Madonna joke sitting on a toilet and noxious fumes coming out, but
you could
you
just
know
draw
what?
the word boo, Tony. You didn't like it.
for another day.
That was amazing. Sparky's quite the artist. He's quite a mystery too. Like, it doesn't say much.
He doesn't. He's very much a visual artist of the show.
Why do I get this feeling that if you pan Sparky's camera a few feet to the right, you see someone gagged and handcuffed to a furnace? I don't know. Is it that kind of mystery or?
Well, he actually does do a lot of work with the Boy Scouts.
Oh, you can see the torch lit on the side.
Oh.
It's a torch for his rape room.
Hey, Sparky, when people draw me, they normally, emphasize my nose and my ears, but, maybe you can draw something that emphasizes something else, maybe like the emerging bulging author, something like that. I don't know.
Wow.
Now, Christian, you kind of have a similar look, which, listen, I've been doing stand-up comedy for 12, 13 years, acting and podcasting and regular shit jobs here and there. And like if you have a similar look, sometimes you can cash in on that. Sometimes that kind of blocks a lot of that kind of like caps you off at a certain amount. If somebody that you look like has already kind of made it before you have. So you have the similar look. You're like, it's like an older version, because I'm guessing you're in your 40s or 50s. Am I in that area?
40s. Yeah. Mid 40s.
Okay. So 40s, because you got the gray there, but you have like the same look and sound, by the way, of Adam Scott. Are you familiar with Adam Scott, and have you gotten this before?
Adam Scott. No.
Adam Scott, you'd be familiar with him from the movie Step Brothers as Will Ferrell's brother that likes the golf club thing.
Oh, the ugly one? No. Oh, no. Thanks. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Look at this.
See the one singing
the
in the
ugly
car?
one. Are you out of your fucking mind? Look at this.
Oh yeah. No,
you
he's
mook.
from
Jesus Christ, why would I call you the weird looking bastard? I'm not blind here. I got cataracts resting on my eyes behind tumors and shit.
No, he was on Parks and Rec. Is that right? He's on Parks and Rec.
Correct. Yeah. Parks and Rec.
I know who that is. Okay.
Yeah. So kind of like a
good-looking guy. Good-looking guy.
Oh, he is a good-looking guy. Yeah. For some reason, I was thinking somebody else, but yeah, he's a good-looking guy.
Well, for our non-visual audience, Christian is not an ugly person. He is a very above average looking person. I'm guessing you're taller than Adam Scott, though. Taller than 5'2"?
5'10", so yes.
There you go. You see, so you might still have a lot
very average height. Very average height.
Yes, yeah.
You don't want to be freakishly tall. Where you ever realize anyone that's 6'4" can lie and no one can say that you're lying. You're be like, you're a liar.
Yeah.
You always call the.
So Christian, let's get back to your book for a second. Where did you find the motivation for your book? And now you said that you used it mostly in like, of course, like real life situations, right?
Well, the motivation just came from a passion for comedy, and basically I would be taking a shower or walking the dog or something like that, and various ideas would come to me for the book. So I just kind of write them down or put them on my phone and kind of work with them, tweak them. I really like adult humor in the form of lowbrow humor, and that's a lot of what this is lowbrow humor with a little bit of that highbrow.
This is our show, buddy.
You're in the right spot.
Right.
You are in the perfect mid zone.
Yeah,
right in there.
So a lot of what I read to sort of try to hone in skills was like the New York Daily Humor, which that's highbrow stuff, but the Harvard Lampoon, read some humor books. So I tried to do kind of, or at least it came out as a lowbrow version of those types of humor. Sure. At least some of it was.
Now I've got to ask this because I know it's somewhere in your book, but I don't think I've quite gotten to it. Was there a part in your book that you or not necessarily that you went back to, but that you used because you of course debt collections and in the lawyer field, was there anything in particular that you had, I guess, like that happened to you or was a part of when you were a lawyer as well? So I guess that's my question.
Wait, what? I even got lost there.
Being a lawyer, I'm sure you've seen some really weird shit in your day.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yes.
So have you used that in your book? And I haven't gotten to it yet, but have you used it in your book?
Well, no, I didn't use any specific experiences. I did have a bit in my book called Toilet Law, which is sort of near the beginning, where I represent people who've overflowed toilets in public establishments. And
that's fucking funny. That is very funny stuff, actually. That sounds kind of like and low. That kind of sounds like it could be from Curb Your Enthusiasm type, like where you could practically see a scenario like that playing out. But that is really funny. Where you're the lawyer and this person tries to get them for the plumbing, and instead of the people's court aspect, have it like a real court aspect, because that the seriousness of the real court aspect brings in the even more duller response area for people to laugh their asses off. If you're going plain dry with it, if you ever wanted to do a sketch like that, that's it's still very funny. It's just a funny premise for the whole sketch right there. That's funny.
No, thank you.
Somebody.
I think I had something else in there that was lawyer related, where the lawyer and the woman, or the lawyer and the man, were getting married, and she wanted to revise the vows, or the vows. So that's in there too.
So how much did you hate being a lawyer? Because man, that's gotta suck. Fuck that. especially claims
not
lawyer.
to say
man.
that's a shitty job, but
You're like,
I mean,
hey, my
points
client
where,
is just looking for some kind of. They're looking for $1. Can you do $1? I mean, they cured your cancer. They just want $1 for it. Can you do that? And they're like, wish I could, but.
Yeah, I mean, being a lawyer was in the private practice was stressful, but I started off doing a variety of different things, because when you get out of law school and you start your own practice, you just kind of have to do what you can do. So I ended up starting in juvenile law, which is you represent kids who have been in abuse, neglect types of cases. Did some family law, did some bankruptcy, real estate, eventually was able to focus in on debt collection. And I kind of like that because there's a lot of procedural aspects to it. There was some civil litigation involved. And I kind of like that type of everything. Is kind of a lot of it's repetitive.
Like it's so much, especially if you're doing it private, if you're just in it for your own business, right? You have about, and no, it needs to be mentioned, because you have a good 60 to 70% of your current and future income going right back out to advertising.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of that too, advertising and, keeping, paying for your malpractice and, the office.
You gotta rather advertising rather than word of mouth. Now, word of mouth is good for the street sense, but you get somebody in there word of mouth and they're just like, so my cousin said, it's like, what are you talking about? I don't even know your cousin that well. He's a liar.
Yeah.
That's why he needed me to lie for him, because I could do it with a suit on, convincingly, with words. But no, the idea of constantly advertising is almost as if we're trying to convince ourselves all the time that we're not just like fucking weird monkeys walking around all the time. Like, quick, keep the advertising going. Show them sunglasses commercials.
Yeah, there was a lot of advertising and a lot of just going out, meeting people, other attorneys who happen to have, collections matters or other matters that, they throw your way. There's various avenues in which to get work.
Christian, have you ever done a live stand-up show at all, or no? I'm not too familiar.
No, never really had an interest in doing any of that. Really, mostly like comedy writing is kind of an interest of mine. No real interest in doing stand-up or anything like that.
I couldn't suggest you should totally do it. Only with every single one of your sketches, talk about it as if it's a personal event that you've actually had to go through. No one's gonna know it, and it's always like your book is creatively based anyway. So you have your whole entire set is already in your book regardless, right? But just you take it, repersonalize it, and talk about it as if it actually happened. No one's going to know, and all the events are kind of funny anyways, especially the toilet thing. You could just say, well, I'm a lawyer and da-da-da-da, and I had to defend my one client. Now he's got enough money for a lawyer, and these rich people, they fight all the time. If you want to just play at it like that, because most poor people say, who would fight over something so stupid? So get them angry at who they already hate, rich people. They say, these rich people, they fight over stupid stuff. And they're like, damn right they do. Now you garnered their attention in a big way. They gather around like, go ahead, say something terrible about them, those fucking jerks, So you'd already be their typical kind of hero. Then you can even translate into that, and you can transition from that point onward. But I used to before the pandemic teach comedy, and that would be, you already have a whole set written down, so there's really nothing much to teach there. You go through your best stuff and you got 20 minutes, and it's a very exhilarating experience, especially where are you currently located at? Not specific address, but just citywide. Where are you at right now?
No, I'll give you my specific address. It's no, just kidding. It's Columbus.
Listen up, everybody. Write this down.
Columbus, Ohio is where I
Oh God, a lot of depression out there. Jeez, yeah, Columbus.
Everyone wants to move here. It's crazy.
Really? Are you serious? Because that's not the first time we have this. That's not like the first time I've heard people wanting to move to Ohio, and it's like I always assume that they're they're sports fans or something. Like, you like the Guardians? Did that name change make it that much better? But
yeah, I mean, we got a lot of OSU fans here. People like the college football. I don't like. I mean, I'm not a big fan of college football, but
or like a
I
lot
love
of
it here.
people, a lot of people that are
It's
just
not for
like, you know
everyone.
what? I like Columbus so much, I'm gonna move to Columbus, Ohio. Fuck
Yeah,
it. It's like, dude, what are you doing this for?
you're right. Yeah, I mean, I like living here. It's great, but yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people are starting to migrate towards here. So, but you guys are in
Build a wall.
Pennsylvania,
You know
right?
that, there was that one guy talking about building a wall to things. Everyone's just like,
Yeah, you guys are in Pennsylvania, is that right?
Yeah,
We're in the
we're in,
armpit of-
northeastern
the armpit of
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
We are in the welfare overspill of northeastern Pennsylvania. So if you couldn't afford to live in Philadelphia, New York, New Jersey, and parts of Detroit, they put you in the welfare overfill spots right there, just as a way to solve homelessness from the Welfare Reform Act that every politician agreed on. Which
it's the place
it
where
washed
all of our homes are built upon coal mines and waste receptacle places.
Yeah, they actually have a whole town dedicated to being on fire all the time.
Ooh.
What is that town called?
Centralia.
Centralia, yeah. So Centralia, funny story about Centralia. One guy, the mayor of the town one day had a great idea with what to do with everybody's garbage, because they all want to lower taxes there, Christian. So they all want to lower taxes. So the mayor says, well, we spend a lot of money on garbage removal here. When I got a great idea, we could just throw all the garbage in the mine cracks. Everybody loved the idea until about 2 years. It took them 2 years to fill up every mine crack. And they said, well, what are we going to do with this garbage now? It's all the way to the top. So the mayor says, you got a better idea. We'll just burn it, right? So they said, wow, what an amazing idea. You are the best mayor. So here they ended up burning all the garbage, right? Now, on the sidewalls of the garbage burning was coal igniting, slowly heating. So
Gases.
So physics, just speaking from a physics standpoint, the town of Centralia made themselves the perfect coal furnace in theory. Now these same people, they made a whole documentary on where the government, federal EPA commission came in, and instead of saying like, don't worry, we made your mayor financially responsible because what a jerk, right? They said that they would buy the people's houses from them so that way they can relocate themselves. They would give them 75% of the new reassessed value, as if there wasn't a fire there at all, right? From property values of towns nearby. So there's the documentary kind of pissed me off because you got these people, they're saying, they said, hold on, Tony, they're going on, they're saying my house is worth more than this. How dare they give me 75% of blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking to myself, then burn in the town that's on fire then, you dumbass. Are you serious? You're complaining. Okay, you got another buyer? Do you got somebody outbidding that wants to live in the town that's on fire? You fucking scumbag. Are you serious? You're on camera? You're complaining? Give me a break. You should say, thank God I hit the lottery. I don't have to be in this one horse, one coal fucking burning town. Holy shit. Thank you, government. One thing you did right, you bought my house and ain't worth shit. And then get your ass out of there. Instead, the narration over the documentary went a little something, and people were forced to move from their homes. I'm like, you fucking, what are you talking about? The town had nothing in it to begin with. And the best idea, which also was the worst idea that they had, was to light it the fuck on fire by pure mistake.
No.
Just to save some tax dollars. Now, Christian, the average tax dollar saved per year in Centralia was $82 per family household. Holy fuck, that's worth lighting your whole town on fire, right? Maybe just shell over the $82 to not live in a town worth of fire. Just throwing it out.
My goodness, wow.
The town has been on fire since 1962. 52 years it's been on fire.
Wow.
Now, exactly. Now the mayor I described, Christian, the mayor I described sounds like he's the mayor of fucking Munchkin Land. He's like, here, it's the 1920s. We don't know shit about fuck. You know, and you're like, oh, well, they just didn't know. That's in the 60s. To put into perspective, 7 years later, we were on the fucking moon, okay? And these guys are lighting their town on fire. You got to be up your own ass and then say, well, this cave smells like shit. Say it's not a cave.
The reason why they started the fires was to get rid of the rats.
Right.
That's
Once
bullshit.
the rats got away and the whole place
okay,
was
then
on
look
fire.
up that's bull. Okay, to get rid of the rats. Give me a break. Yeah. Okay, give me a flute. I'll get the snakes out of town too.
There you go.
Yeah, right. It was so the story I was told from the people we were doing. My good friend Mike Vaccaro. Shout out Mike Vaccaro. We were doing a documentary. The one guy that was still living down there at the time, George, and I forget his goddamn last name. He was just like, they're told us they'd save us money on taxes. And he's out of fucking, he's out of his mind because he's been living in the town.
He's all high up on gas from the.
Yo, man, he's been living in, he's been in some kind of Dutch oven. His life has been a Dutch oven.
Dude. That doesn't sound good.
You could smell it
Sounds
when you get into the town, you could smell it. You're like, oh my God, it smells like a combination of burning rotten eggs to a degree. Like it's got that blacktop kind of
huge
smell,
amounts
like,
of sulfur.
Yeah, it's got that sulfury blacktoppy kind of smell, and then followed by just like a weird smog. You know, it's just they made a video game. They inspired a video game for zombies about it. Silent Hill. That's where we come from. So Columbus, Ohio, ain't looking so bad right now. I can.
No, definitely not. You're making me happy. I live here and not there.
Yeah, you're like, well, my town's not on fire. Hot dog.
Yeah.
I mean, you are outside one of the largest Amish congregations.
Yeah.
In Ohio, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we're a couple hours, I'd say, from Amish country, which we've been up there a couple times. But you can. I mean, the food's great, and you can watch horses shit right on the road because they don't have anything that cleans up, underneath.
Was anybody harassing the Amish about the vaccine where they're like, get the vaccine? And they're like, what's a vaccine? Get a TV and watch about the vaccine. What's a TV? Yeah, you just plug it into the wall.
Yeah, speaking of shitty social media, right? Have you seen the one video of the it's an Amish guy just driving along, and there was a cop, and he goes, oh shit, man. And he shines the flashlight over on the buggy, and there's Bud Light cans inside the buggy. He goes, can we pull him over for drunk driving? He's like, nah, the horse will just take him home.
I've not seen that. That's no.
Well, Tony, do you want to get into a little bit of news real quick?
No. We're gonna go into what Sparky has in his up the deck.
Awesome.
I actually have an advertising idea for the book.
Oh, great! I can't wait to see it.
I got celebrity endorsements, stunts, and everything.
He actually does. That's
the most dangerous stunt jumping at
Look at that. And it's Jay Leno because his whole face is on fire right there in the picture. For people that aren't able to see Sparky's picture, it is a picture of Jay Leno on a motorcycle. Now, Sparky, is he probably going to crash that motorcycle and break an arm or two on the way?
Maybe a collarbone, a couple of ribs in both his kneecaps, but
that was your opportunity and your only opportunity to say, no, Kevin, in Hollywood, they break a leg. What the fuck do I know, right? That's Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
no, dude.
Sparky has some good ideas.
Well, I guess Jay Leno is getting some, he's getting some Hollywood roles over this whole thing here. I
heard he's going to be the next character in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, he's going to be Ghost Rider. Yeah.
No.
He still looks normal. If the burns were that bad, we wouldn't be making Jay Leno's faces on fire jokes.
That's true.
They're not that bad. Well, this is where in my car, and then dumped oil can. I mean, complete explosion. It happens. I like how they were. Did you catch the interview with Jay Leno? They were trying to have a very dramatic heart-to-heart with him, right? And they're like, Jay, this is terrible, though. Isn't this the worst thing that's ever happened? they're still starving children around the world. No, Jay, fuck them. Seriously, this is bad. Your face will forever be scarred. Well, isn't that good of a face anyway? And you're like, man, they were really going at it. I guess Al Roker, they're trying for next to see Al Roker sick again, I guess. And I mean, and I was really trying to find something to give a fuck about it because, the guy is such a robot of a human anyways. He's just always given the, and we'll see what's going on in your neck of the woods. He's there. He's the only one that didn't molest anybody on the Today Show, basically.
Sure.
It's a category of his own.
He's what Al Roker can't have anymore. He's leftovers.
He always feels like he's the Stedman of the Oprah world.
Stedman.
Hey, you guys mind if I do a few things out of the book? A few bits?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Please.
I have some riddles and some wordplay. Could maybe do a couple of those so people kind of get the idea of what it's about. So,
yeah, pop it in there anytime you're ready.
Also have some other things, but I'll start off with riddles. How about I'll start off with this. You can find me in your throat or even in your eyes. You can give me to a friend, but I'm an unwanted surprise. What am I?
A condom. Sorry.
Any other
Rhino horns. No.
Gonorrhea.
Gonorrhea can be found in some condoms.
That's true. Got another one here. I sound like a move performed by a stripper. I'm a race to the finish by a team that may whimper. What sport am I?
You are the Philadelphia Eagles in football.
No. Come on. I made it to the Super Bowl, man.
Think Jessica Steele and what she was talking about on your show.
Oh, let me see here. Jessica Steele. She was very cool.
Yeah, I like that episode.
What was Jessica Steele? She was talking about cutting hair there for a good amount.
Well, she is from Alaska.
Yeah, she's from Alaska too.
Yeah. Dog sledding.
Yeah.
Dog sledding. Yeah,
I did a rod.
I did a rod. Yeah, that was it. The move performed by a stripper. Yeah.
I
did a. All right. That's wordplay. All right.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? So, So I throw out a couple more and.
Yeah, keep going, man. Keep going.
All right. So this, I'll do something. Some wordplay. So what can a man experience after swimming in a cold pool? So the hint is another name for tiny, combined with a detachable shirt front.
Combined with it. Okay, I'm gonna bite. I'm just gonna say, what do you got there? Because I'm not gonna rack that. I'm not gonna rack it for dead air. Because Tony's gonna be like, Tony's gonna be making faces.
Oh, I had an answer. No, go ahead.
You did?
Yeah. What is it?
Oh, Little Dicky.
Oh, and Tony, what was your guess?
I was gonna say turtlenecking.
He was going the uncircumcised route of.
I'm Jewish. It is what it is.
And, you guys don't mind gross because this next one's a little bit gross.
I don't know if we can handle gross on this show.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen your show. I'm not so sure. I know how clean it is. So
fuck it. Let's do it.
So, what helps produce people who believe in Bigfoot, astrology, and/or the power of tarot cards?
Ooh, Kevin loves this answer.
Yeah, dude, give it to me. I'm not even going to try to guess. I just want to be.
Oh, Sparky.
Sparky's got the answer. Sparky, what is the answer?
Extraterrestrials, Bigfoot, and stuff. It's got to do something with Michael Caswell's reproductive fluids.
Oh man, I heard that Michael Caswell just basically he's got that total relapse baby coming on him every now and then, or it's fucking.
I mean, I can give the hints if you'd like. It's
oh no, just the answer. I'm gonna love the answer.
Okay. The answer is dumb cum.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Yes.
It's a little gross. I know for your show.
Diagnosed
I'm
for
sorry.
that, you jerk off in a cup, and they're like, "Sir, you've been rejected here at the sperm clinic. Your sperm came up stupid, as fuck, according to our nurses, and they are professionals at drinking this stuff. Okay.
They gargled for hours and it's dumb cum.
That's how we test it. We give it to a woman that's been in nothing but terrible relationships. If she can't stop drinking it, it must be bad.
Well, I don't think any, well, maybe none of your fans believe in these things. I'm not sure. Perhaps they do.
We do have quite the eclectic crowd. Eclectic.
Yeah, our fan base consists of about like 4 guys in a prison in India, that got a ham radio working, and they decided that the best torture would be forcing them to continue to listen to us on a broken fucking iPhone 4 that's last app open was a Spotify. Its only glitches.
That's great that we're the opening for the Taliban.
Yeah, hey, you gotta start from somewhere.
Right. Hey, there you go. You tortured. That could be on your resume. You tortured people, and
yeah, your favorite Guantanamo Bay radio station, the Podguyz podcast, coming to you live.
You haven't been waterboarded until you've been
aisle
waterboarded.
4, cell 14. Just for. You
haven't been waterboarded until you've been waterboarded with the Podguyz podcast.
Sponsored by Downy Towels, best for waterboarding at 4 a.m, 5 a.m. Surprise visits from your God and ours.
You know what I heard is the greatest to suffocate your people with when you're torturing them? That's right, merchbooth.com t-shirts.
Merchbooth.com t-shirts. Tony, now what are those?
They are the fantastic brand that supports the Podguyz podcast t-shirt brand.
When do the prisoners start doing this? Does that ever happen, or
I think they normally do that to simulate a rope while the other prisoner masturbates them. It's called a David Carradine. It's my favorite episode of Kung Fu, where it's just like
that's my favorite episode of Kung Fu.
He gives the
That's
advice.
30 seconds long.
Advice where the person's like, well, what should I do then? Well, what you need to do is put a rope around your neck inside of a closet while furiously masturbating until the rope tightens. But make sure, and this is the most important part, don't die. Like, damn you, wisdom of David Carradine's Kung Fu. Man,
what else you got, Christian? What else you got?
Well, let's see here. I can do some. I can either do some poetry of the porn star, or
poetry. I can't stand poetry, but you have to love porn stars, so it's a happy medium there.
Or I can do a weird advertisement for a weird product, or both.
I think we're gonna go poetry of porn stars.
Poetry of the porn star. Okay, let me get in the role here. This is a picture poetry night at a coffee shop. And then you picture this scene. After a hard day's work, porn stars enter the coffee shop, ready to unload about their days. And this is Wayne Worthless referencing a scene in the movie Makin' Fudge. The floor isn't forgiving. I lie on my back. Steam rises, rotting the air. But we're nowhere near Cleveland. It doesn't matter. It's a welcome scent for the cash. A sudden pause. Someone else wants in. But I say, no, don't give me any more shit. This is my scat party, and I'm not sharing the dough. It was supposed to end. One and done. That's what they told me. But they always want more. Always. It's happening again. More warmth. More hot fog rises above me. I see my chest. It looks like she ate corn. Thank you. Thank you. Get a little guide on that one.
The old beatniks at the coffee shops, early 90s,
Wow.
I'm trying to get in the mind of Wayne Worthless having his chest shat on 2 times. And then
I like how he comes from a long line of worthless people.
Sparky drew up a picture of this, and
that quickly, huh?
Oh, he is a master of his craft, sir.
He's a 3D printer of nightmares.
Wayne Worthless getting crapped on with corny shit.
He is a genius.
What do you got there? Look at that.
There it is.
Look at Tony making suggestions made Sparky a little anxious there. I wrote this about Madonna. Look at that. Now, if you don't know who Madonna is, she was a once famed pop singer that had a NFT made of her vagina. So we had fun with that while I was in the Philippines with Madonna's vagina, jokes where Madonna will only go down to a gynecologist if Bill Murray dresses up in a Ghostbusters uniform for the ghost that will escape. The wretched vagina, famous scene from The Shining that Kubrick made, where you got the two little twins down the road with the little kid in the tricycle, was actually shot inside of the walls of Madonna's vagina. You wouldn't never know it because
Right.
it's a damn genius and all, but that's where it was. So we had a lot of fun.
Red rum is tattooed on the inside walls.
Yeah, because like if I wanted to look at Madonna's vagina so much, I would just get the big Montana from Arby's and throw it on the floor, come back a week later, mold it up, put in the microwave, and fuck it.
Jeez.
After popcorn setting, of course, popcorn
Right.
setting. Because it's gonna look old, rusty, metallic. You don't know if there's scales on it and shit.
Dry as shit.
Yeah, and not all the when she comes, it looks and tastes just like horsey sauce. In fact, some
I
people
love the
still
fact that
believe
she
that's
came
where
out in a recent interview and she said, I don't know why my kids are so embarrassed of me lately.
Just clueless. I don't know.
It's like, well, you should have never gave them a TV, Madonna, because
Keep them all away from social media.
Yeah.
yeah. They, I mean, how are you really gonna? I don't know. Listen. It's a wonderful thing when people adopt children and that, but
Yeah.
So but in Madonna's case, where you have millions and millions of dollars, right? Now everybody tries doing their part on the lower level to mid-level and all that nice stuff. But if you have millions of dollars, couldn't you have just bought the family a house and been like, there you go. Now I don't have to kidnap your child, like, like
Hey, here's a great segue, Kevin. You ready?
Sure.
Speaking of punished vaginas, how about the news of Pamela Anderson?
Oh, I was gonna say, speaking of people that don't abuse children anymore, Pamela Anderson's big book is coming out though. Tony, you want to go into that?
Yeah, please enlighten us there.
So Pamela Anderson's big book is out right now there, Christian. It's a tell-all book. This is her second tell-all book. It's a sequel to the first tell-all, where she's revealing even more. And there was that, I guess there was a certain time when Tim Allen from Home Improvement showed his genitalia to Pamela Anderson. Did you hear about that at all?
I did hear about that. Yes.
Now, I already know that story is bullshit right off the bat, because everybody knows whenever Tim Allen shows his genitalia to you, you are now the next Santa Claus. It's in there in the books. It's in his Disney contract, that's why.
I think when he grabbed his sphincter and he popped it out there, he was like, "It's tool time."
Wow, yeah, could have happened. You never know.
Well, at his age, it's not much of a power tool anymore, as it is,
Yeah.
But no, there was something that just popped up on my newsfeed. I just need to throw it out there. It's Sparky. You need to get on and draw on this real quick if you possibly can. Chicago prosecutors, big news right now, guys. So we're all sitting here for the big news. Chicago prosecutors. This is serious, man. This is big. This is big time right now. This is the Chicago prosecutors are dropping R. Kelly's sex abuse charges. I'm not even joking. This just came in. It says a Chicago prosecutor said today, that she's dropping sex abuse charges against singer R. Kelly following federal convictions in 2 courts that should guarantee the disgraced R&B star will not be locked up for decades. Cook County State Attorney Kim Fox announced the decision a day ahead of the hearing related, that's tomorrow, to the state charges accusing him sexually abusing 4 people. 2 of the women were minors. She said that she will ask the judge to dismiss all indictments Tuesday. So if that is serious breaking news. I'm not even joking. This is no joke about it. Yeah. R. Kelly might be a free man. So that's just the thing there, Tony. If you keep singing in the prison shower, I believe I can fly. Eventually you fly right out of jail. so long, but no,
Crazy.
they're dropping it. Sparky, what do you got regarding that story right there?
Give me a minute.
Mr. Kelly is potentially looking at the possibility of never walking out of prison again for the crimes he's committed, the prosecutor said, referring to his federal conviction. While today's cases are no longer being pursued, we believe justice has been served since Kelly, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's a pretty big story right there.
Yeah.
No, he's not going to get time for his federal charges, but for his state charges, he could or could not.
They're asking to dismiss the whole thing.
The whole situation. Wow.
Yeah, the whole gambit, dude. You know. And
Man,
it's
see what
a little
happens
messy.
if it's
Like
on minors.
I was talking to Tony. I mean, listen, like I don't know what the specifications are. Maybe he gave up some names or whatever, but I'm sure more will be released down the way. But in another area where R. Kelly has never been, Tony, R. Kelly was tried in a courtroom during the daytime, never tried on night court. Speaking of night court, don't watch Night Court, okay? It's not a new TV show, all right? John Larroquette's agent should be given Man of the Year award because dude has found John Larroquette.
He sold the shit out of that.
Yo, he's found him work forever now. You got John Larroquette as a coma patient on a house. I'm like, this wasn't even necessary. You're taking work away from people right now. You don't need that goddamn role. Night Court is not. I hate it when people are and I'm getting this shit on Facebook from certain people. It was a good show. Correct. It was a good show. It had a good.
It's a great show.
It had a good 3 out of 8 years. You know, like all sitcoms have 3 good years if they're lucky. Everything else just nostalgia and repetition from more than 3 years, my opinion. So to reboot Night Court with the same laugh track and scenery, dude, you know what? Try it on Broadway first, okay? Because if it doesn't work in front of a live audience, then your producers and product placement people are just lying to you, saying that you need a new Night Court. And this is supposed to be Harry's daughter or whatever the hell. It's like, you know what? I swear NBC just got the streaming network, so that way they can shove that down the tube and be like, Night Court.
Well, they wanted to play off the because the girl who plays his daughter was, of course, in the Big Bang Theory.
Oh, was she that Howard's girlfriend?
Yeah.
Bernadette.
She seems like a very sweet girl in the TV show and that. And they, you know, and I feel bad for her now because they should have just given her a show. Her acting talent, everybody has an ability to act and portray different characters. But for them to just say, hey, instead of us just writing you an original show and basing it off of your talent alone, it's kind of like a slap in the face, in my opinion, you know, that you're just going to say, hey, let's already give you a show that's had success in the past, already has a following, and they're all going to hate you because you're not the old show. So it's kind of like you're already setting her up for a type of failure. And for as much as it's worth, you know, like hopefully she will recover from this eventual cancellation that will happen. Because nostalgic shows like this, remember when Mad About You brought themselves back and no one asked for that shit, like ever?
Zero.
You know, I don't care. Bring back Seinfeld if you want to, because Seinfeld, well, they don't really need to because Curb Your Enthusiasm is already out there. But Seinfeld wouldn't really work today, to be honest with you, because you got 60% of their situational sketches.
It could always be reworked, though.
You could possibly rework it. I think what they're doing right now is better with Curb Your Enthusiasm, and that's kind of like the next. That would be the next level, kind of like what Cheers did with Frasier. You know, like that kind of like morphed into the next one, and now Frasier is looking to return because that wasn't also needed. You have John Mahoney, Niles, or David Hyde Pierce also not returning. Fucking whoever played Daphne, I forget her name offhand, Jane something, but also not returning. So it's just why don't you just call it Kelsey Grammer talks into a camera? You ever see that? You ever see the Kelsey Grammer Martin Lawrence show? And then they're roommates, but they're also divorced from women. Dude, it was like The Odd Couple, but and that was kind of like the concept for the idea. And it was just unwatchable. I know they would never hang out. There was no setup on why they would hang out. There was a laugh track there where there was no setup or punchline. And it was almost like filler time for both actors. And they're like, oh, we didn't think that got picked up. And it's like, no, it didn't. But we're airing it anyways because COVID. So they aired a show that didn't work out from 2007 because they had nothing new from 2020. And they're like, well, we don't want to keep paying people royalties. Who do we not have to pay that still has some stars in there? Hey, look what I found. And you could look it up. It's just look up Martin Lawrence, Kelsey Grammer. I'm not even going to give them a free plug because I feel like I'd be doing terrorist acts.
It's true.
Sparky, what's going on?
Speaking of terrorist acts, I had another one of my great $1 million ideas.
Oh my God. Sparky, you have so many $1 million ideas. Now, what could it possibly be this time?
It's going to make money for everybody.
Okay.
Pam Anderson hasn't done anything in years. R. Kelly hasn't done anything in years.
Sure.
So I figured out I'm going to involve one more person that's big in the news. I'm going to combine all three of them together. And here's my idea.
Okay. So we got Dance Off, Pam Anderson versus Megan Hall. Music by R. Kelly. Wow. And I'm guessing the people crawling on the two pillars there, one would be Pam Anderson and Megan, and the other one would be Megan Hall. And the person in the middle, who's the person in the middle there, Sparky? Is that R. Kelly?
Yep.
Well, all right. Well, why wouldn't he be in the middle of a shitty situation?
Wow. I can see why Sparky's on the show. It's just
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it's amazing
He's a
artwork.
genius.
Yeah.
You know what? For the people that can't see Sparky's work, they're really missing out because he has the most beautiful depictions and such graphic reality of. I knew exactly who these
It's a
people
beautiful
were.
thing. It is
Pam
a
Anderson,
beautiful-
R. Kelly was right there in the middle. You really gotta watch us on Facebook Live exclusively to get the video content from the Podguyz podcast to see exactly what Sparky is showing our every guest down this week. So am I right?
Now
Tony?
you thought that Sparky would go a whole different direction, especially with the Shauna Ray thing, with the little girl that hasn't grown
No, I
into
don't
an
like
R.
it.
Kelly joke in some way.
It's
Missed
an honor.
opportunity, Sparky.
Missed opportunity, I
I
guess.
don't know Megan Hall, though, because she actually got offered a lot of money for one night.
Who's
You got
that? What do you?
Megan Hall, the Tennessee cop.
Oh, Megan Hall. Yeah.
Yeah.
That brings a whole new expression to a hot dog down the hallway anymore because you get 12 in a pack.
Right.
Right. These hot dogs are not wearing badges and speak.
Hit me with your baton, big boy.
You think you got some riddled dick jokes there, Christian?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I thought it was it was like sticking a hot dog in a hallway. That's the one I've heard.
Oh no, we were throwing. We're throwing.
Yeah.
A hot dog. Now your no, don't get me wrong. Yours sticking a hot dog down a hallway makes a lot more sense.
Right.
But
Well, there could be multiple definitions of that, or
maybe it's a regional thing. Maybe we should ask people in California what they do with their hot dogs in
hallways.
and horror references. Like, hey, do you have a horror reference that involves a hot dog? Oh yes, we call it sliding a hot dog down a slippery situation. Oh, California.
Yeah, maybe there's regional ways to describe that. So that's
Yeah.
California's, I guess.
Yeah.
Kevin, did you hear
We're
what-
on to something.
Did you hear what happened about Megan Hall? Did you hear
No,
about-
what happened, Sparky?
No.
They found out that she was actually having affairs on the gun range, aka she was getting a bang for a buck. But anyways,
That is a bang for the buck right
Oh
Man,
wow.
that's the first time I've heard him tell a joke. That's great.
I know.
Fucking great.
I heard she got rifled.
Oh man. Wow. This is
It is what it is, Ron.
Yeah, some people call that slut shaming. We're not shaming though. We're
No. You
I'm
know what?
not-
Good for her. Good for her. You know what?
I don't care that
Because
she's
it-
banging around with guys. In fact, I think she should still have her job, to be honest with you.
well, she was doing
The
it on
last-
duty,
now-
Kevin.
Okay, this is now take note. This is the first cop that has been fired and she's never killed anybody. Okay, she's literally never pulled anybody over and killed them. In fact, by relieving all of this sexual tension, she's probably saved lives.
I don't know. She may have asked for the David Carradine once or twice.
Yeah, I don't really see where there's grounds to be fired, honestly. I guess you're banging at work. I would say, hey, stop fucking around, or we're gonna transfer you to another area if you keep having sex with each other so much while on the clock.
I think the story went that she was underneath the counter, I guess, like going to town on a shake weight.
I like how that's the sound effect you make for what penises sound like.
It was multiple penises.
What kind of clown whistle you packing there, Tony? Jesus.
He was doing the good old referee.
You know how penises sound? Cha 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 cha.
Was she blowing a whistle too? I don't understand.
Yeah, right. Flag.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Tony looks like he was playing a trombone.
Well, we know Tony will never get a job doing a voiceover for blowjobs, I guess.
Tony narrating porn, like, hey, I brought all my props to do the sound effects. And they're like, sir, this is a porno. I know. That's why I brought the trombone, the whoopee cushion, the bell.
Yeah, do a blowjob. Okay.
How else will anybody know that it's not time for sex if I don't ring the bell? Boom. It's like, sir, where did you get this guy from?
We're gonna go in a different direction, Tony. Sorry.
Yeah, Tony, it's you, it's not us. We're in the porn business. We're here to break some hearts every now and then.
Son of a bitches.
Meanwhile, we were actually the oh god, what's his name? The porn star.
I don't know of any porn stars.
Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy, yeah, Christian. We were actually the first ones ahead of the Ron Jeremy case when people were, screaming that he had been now raping suddenly, right? And everybody's like, "Oh, what a terrible person! I wonder how many other people he's done this to." So now, we were probably the only podcast out there taking a rational, rationality to, a rational look at the whole thing. So I said to Tony, well, Tony, it's very possible through muscle memory alone and how long this guy's been in the porn industry, he could have been like having a form of flashback from PTSD and then just been in that situation and started taking the clothes off of a woman, right? And Tony says, well, Kev, for that to be true, he'd have to have dementia, and we don't know that, right? So about 4 months after that happened, there's now a report that
lawyers got together.
They got maybe they're watching the show right now. So he's in a mental institution, well, more in like a nursing home scenario for his severe dementia and the criminal
for retired
charges. Porn
stars, by the way.
Well, yeah, they normally separate the people from their dicks. They let the dicks go out there and roam the fields with the other dicks, like in the same area where the horses are.
Right.
They can't keep them too close together because you don't want them spooking the horses, because these porn dicks are like tremors in the sand sometimes. You don't want to.
You don't want them to pop up into the horse's ass, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, and start eating everybody, and then you got Reba McEntire shooting it with her bald boyfriend back there and stuff. But no, we were ahead of that idea, and we just hope that Ron Jeremy's has some form of peace in his life, because like if you're Ron Jeremy and you're in prison, like the first thing you worry about when you're in jail is getting sexually assaulted by a stronger man. Now, when Ron Jeremy goes to jail, everybody wants to get sexually assaulted by Ron Jeremy because it's an honor.
Right. You can tell your friends and family about it.
Like, hey guys, I got raped. Oh my god, why are you so happy? Ron Jeremy, get the fuck out of here.
He was on the other side of the prison.
He does not know where he is right now. He's fucked up.
Yeah, I wasn't proud of you, son, but now I am. That's great.
It took up until this moment. Look, your mother's crying over there. She must be proud with tears again.
He raped 40 men from across the prison.
All the guards jump in on it. They take selfies. Yeah.
Another part of the book, by the way. Another part of the book.
You talked about him having sex with one person, and Tony took it to a next level. 40 people. Okay.
40. I like how you like how the fish got bigger there.
Yeah. It's like, okay. No.
Well, just like his PTSD, he had no clue what was going on.
Yeah, the numbers, like.
So, Christian, do you have any thoughts on another book? Do you want to make a part 2? Do you want to do a deuce?
A deuce, yeah. Don't shit in my toilet number 2. Yeah. I have some ideas for a second one. I'm kind of still working on that right now. I've got several ideas that are in the works. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing a part 2. Just kind of working on marketing this, working on that at the same time. And I'm not sure when I'll have that second one completed. But yeah, still kind of working on that now, and hopefully I don't know, a few months or so, several months, not sure.
Well, we're gonna wrap up our show. We're gonna give you the red carpet, sir, to do as you will. Where can people happen to find your lovely book?
Well, they can find my lovely book on Amazon.com. That's where it's being sold. It's doing exclusively Amazon. There's a ebook version of the book that is, I've reduced the price to $1.99, and the paperback is $10.99. So you can get either one. The ebook is, you can get it a Kindle app, which you can read the book on a Kindle app. If you don't have it's free to download the Kindle app. So
not even that, but even on Amazon, I bought books on Amazon. You just click on the location. Amazon links you right up to the book automatically right when you buy it.
Yeah. They kind of have cornered the market on books. There are other players in the market, but they're the main one right now. So I'm going kind of exclusively with them at this point. So,
well, that's really cool, because whenever, no offense against Barnes and Noble, I don't want to have to walk around a physical store. I'd rather or talk to somebody about what I might like at one of those stores or whatever. It's good for colleges. I guess everything serves a purpose in its own certain way, but it's much more interesting to type in a couple keywords or type in whatever you're looking for is what your interest might be through Amazon. And specifically narrow it down to books, because if you're okay at reading, and if you're not okay reading, and Christian, if you're also looking for somebody to do voiceover work for you, an audio book, I'd be more than happy to throw my services your way for no charge at all.
No
charge at all. Maybe you buy me a water, because I don't drink.
Like a smart water, or does it have to be like a grocery store water? Or
it's just any.
Christian was going to have me do voiceover work, and then it just turned into rape. And
wow, yeah. Christian was.
Yeah,
Tony, you can do the bell sound effects in the background.
Excellent.
And they started fucking. I'm gonna need more cowbell on the fucking Tony. Boom, 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 boom. How else will they know? It needs to sound like a pendulum back and forth so people can learn.
I'm wondering what kind of porn Tony watched to think of those sound effects.
No, just regular porn. Just the sound effects are fucking wonky,
Yeah.
But yeah. So no, it's you're easy to find. Is that your pen name as well?
I'm sorry. The what?
Is that your author name as well, or do you have a pen name?
My name is Christian Hardesty. I mean, if you put that in Amazon search engine, my book will come up.
And they're also going to be able to find you promoted at the Podguyz podcast page as well, where we have a little bit of reach. Some people share it, and the demographic hit. You never know who's going to buy whatever. It's really tough. It's cheaper to come on. We're not charging anybody to come on here. We think that you're a really cool guy. At least I do. And Tony, I'm sure also. Sparky's tough to impress though most of the time. But you never know where sales are going to
nut to crack.
And you don't want to go through a marketing agency. I mean, sure, they're gonna charge you. This is what I've seen about marketing agencies, right? They're gonna charge you X amount of dollars, say that they're responsible for X amount of profit, and they never seem to equal up. So it's almost as if you paid somebody to create people to buy your book, and then they say, "See, we did our job right here," and you're like, "Oh, I get it. You're stealing from me. Fuck." By the time it all comes full circle.
Yeah. And not all the jokes in the book are all about, shit and dicks. And there are other things. There's just one bit that I don't think we got to that isn't about, those kind of things. You mind if I read it real quick before we end the show? Or
Do it up, yeah.
So this is a bit called Training for the Unexceptional. So are your standards too high given your skill set? Are you someone who doesn't excel at much, but still think you can do something you can't? Do you play the lottery weekly or lose money in multiple pyramid schemes? If so, it's time for you to enroll in our program, Accepting Unexceptional. Accepting Unexceptional teaches you to set expectations low for yourself and for your family, so you can finally accept that you're just ordinary. For example, instead of saying to others, I'm doing the best I can, you say, I'm doing the best I'm capable of. That way, people can understand why you fail a lot. And never tell your kids you can be anything you want to be. We all know that's horse shit, especially for mediocre children. Be honest and tell them you can be something that your brain is capable of handling, but no more. Don't have any hobbies or interests outside of watching sports? That's fine, you'll fit right in. Our program can help you accept your run-of-the-mill marriage. One of our clients, Amy, told us her marriage is falling apart. Brad, her husband, was always busy running a failing business or spending time with his questionable friends. But Brad successfully takes out the garbage and scoops their dog's poop. Our program taught Amy to accept Brad for who he was because he was probably the best she could do. Now Amy's happy all the time, and she's even picked up drinking. Hey, we can't all be good at everything, or some of us at anything. Don't wait for something exceptional to happen in your life. Enroll in our program today. Accepting Unexceptional, because sometimes your best really isn't that good.
True. It's true.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? But so yeah, well, thank you guys. I appreciate you having me on.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule as well. Sparky, where can you find us if you were looking for us, sir?
You can actually find us on every single major streaming platform, including iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spreaker, Deezer, Castbox, Pocket Cast, GeoReo.
iTunes.
Is Wise Radio rebooted yet?
Not yet.
It's okay, so we're not going to count them yet still.
iTunes, Sparky.
Google, Facebook Live Video. And you could also buy our merch at merchbooth.com.
Merchbooth.com. Look for us under podcasts. Support our show. Just buy a shirt. That's all we have.
Yeah, Tony's got the 1 shirt a day plan. You heard of the one yogurt a day to save lives and stuff. Well, we don't save any lives. We don't claim to save any lives like yogurt, but just buy 1 shirt a day. It's 1 shirt a day will support Tony's family from I'm not going to say starving, Tony. I've seen your fridge.
No,
you're in good shape. You're
we're good.
I don't think anybody would believe the starving part, to be honest.
Fuck you, Kevin.
But
hey, we are the Podguyz podcast. I'm Tony Kaz.
Kevin Neary.
Let's put this up there real quick.
Look at that.
That's the title of the cover of the book. I just thought
Don't shit in my toilet. Check it out on Amazon. It's a great read, by the way.
That's like perfect for people that can read and are always constipated too. They put in the bathroom there.
Yeah,
I did read through about a quarter of it on the toilet, by the way.
Yeah, it's a lot of people are telling me it's something they read on the throne. That's kind of the throne reading material. So that's, you can read it on the go and the throne. After a hard day's work, and whatever.
It's so much more fulfilling than being a lawyer.
Yeah, I heard it's 10 times better than a Blunkin.
But
sounds like you ran the calculated math on that one 10 times.
You could be a statistics guy on sex moves, I guess. Yeah. Since you can't do the sound effects for porn, you can run the stats, I guess.
Yeah, run the stats.
I tried doing the slide whistle for a while, and it was like. Woo!
Tony makes fucking baseball card versions of porn stars, the PPM.
It's cardboard cutouts. Get it right.
PPM is pumps per minute. Look at that, pump per minute on that one. What's wrong with you? Get out of here.
Guys, we're getting out of here. Have a great night. Thank you for coming. Make sure you share below, like, share. We're out. Have a great night, guys.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. See ya.